Hi, this is Brian from Street Snappers and welcome to this month's street photography critique video. The images we're about to look at were all taken by members of the StreetSnappers Collective, which is a group of talented, enthusiastic street photographers who have all attended one or more of my workshops. But before we look at their images, I just thought you'd be interested in seeing this, which is a book they've produced, which shows some of their favourite images they've taken over the previous 12 months. I'm sure you'll agree, it's quite impressive. So well done to those guys. So to this month's images, each month I set members of the collective a challenge. And this month, bearing in mind the difficulties we've all had in going outside, their brief was to shoot something through their window. So it may not be street photography as we know it, but it's an interesting creative exercise in itself. And it's important to remember, I think, that the point of critique is to help people develop and to improve. So being brutal doesn't necessarily help. And I think it's quite important to be honest, but I do try and find something positive to say about every single image. So let's have a look at the images shot through my window. So just to recap on the theme for these images, the brief was entitled Through My Window, and the images were meant to represent the lockdown situation. And I fully accept that street photography as we know it is pretty much off the agenda at the moment, so this was quite a tough challenge. There's only so much you can do through your window. So here we are, the first image. It's a black and white shot from Alison Swinburne, and there are several themes going on here. Firstly, there's the concept of the selfie, and maybe Alison was having a bit of a Vivian Maier moment here. And then there's the notion of solitude expressed in the form of the lone walker and a dog, and the lock gate behind her. I think the reflection of Alison herself adds a slightly ethereal, ghostly feel to the scene. You kind of get the feeling here that Alison's trapped upstairs in her house, unable to get out, which I guess in a way is true. I think this works okay compositionally, though I do have a personal preference for conventional aspect ratios, and this has got quite a strange crop, but maybe I'm just being fussy here. But it does feel quite balanced. Technically, the highlights are a little too bright for my taste. It's quite contrasty. I bring those highlights down a bit. The whole thing just feels a bit harsh, slightly overcooked maybe. But let's just go back to the concept. The idea is through my window, and I guess this works on that level. I do wonder whether there could have been a better subject, if better's the right word. Maybe someone more vulnerable, maybe an elderly person or a small child rather than this woman with the dog. And that's an interesting learning point, I think. When we're faced with a situation like this, where we have the luxury of time, we can wait for as long as it takes to get the perfect shot. And whilst I think that Alison's image is thoughtfully done, it could be more impactful from a storytelling point of view. But other than that, there's really not much to criticise. It meets the brief. Nice work, Alison, thank you. Next up is this moody colour image from Barry Bottomley. I've been working with Barry for 3 or 4 years, and I reckon he's now found a visual voice that suits him. And it's taken a while, but I think he's getting there. And this picture is a good example of that. So this looks like his kitchen or maybe his bathroom. Although at first sight, I thought it was the stained glass window of a pub, maybe through my window of the Queen Vic or something. And I think the use of available light here is quite delicious in a way, and there really isn't much to criticise, but I do have a few tiny niggles. Firstly, I dropped down the highlights just a little on the right of the frame. That hot spot is just a bit too hot for me. And in the bottom left corner, that bright object is just a little too distracting, and I may want to reduce the light on that just very, very slightly, and on that central bottle. But hey, this is just nitpicking. But I think what Barry has managed to create here is some real atmosphere, and I love it. For some reason, it made me think of Gregory Crewdson's work, although his was quite different, but it does have that kind of feel, and that use of light is nice. So if I were Barry, I'd probably try to recreate this image. I'd have another go at it, using maybe some more carefully chosen props and nicely arranged to just get it a bit more perfect. Again, it's not street photography, and you know it's set up in that sense, but that was never really the point of this exercise. But the shot, I love it. Well done, Barry. Next up is another moody shot, this one from Brian Duffy, and it's a nice portrait. I suspect set up rather than candid, but I could be wrong. I think the light on the girl's face is terrific, and the exposure is just right, perfectly judged. I think if I'd been in Brian's shoes, I would have done two things. Firstly, I'd have shot with the lens wide open, just to emphasise the facial features and that lovely light on the face. The background is maybe a little bit distracting. And I might have stood a little bit further back, or maybe with a wider lens, maybe not, but just to use those slats on the blind as more emphatic leading lines to take you on a more dramatic route to the face. I think that would be quite helpful. But they're just minor points, and I think conceptually it works, it meets the brief, and it certainly gets across the mood and the feeling of lockdown, which is what this project is all about. So, nice one. Well done, Brian. So this next shot is from Grazia. I'd love to try and pronounce Grazia's surname, especially as I'm learning Italian, but I'm not going to embarrass myself on here. So apologies, Grazia, for that. I think Grazia works as a designer, so I'm not surprised to see something strongly graphical from her. And I think as well as having strong graphical intent, it's an image that's quite symbolic in the current situation. The locked door, if it is locked, but we can assume it's locked, and the dark, ominous shadows. Yeah, we get the message. I guess I'm a sucker for lines. I love strong lines in an image. But with that comes a need for perfection. And it troubles me slightly that those two dominant vertical lines, the ones on the right third of the frame, are not quite straight and they're just leaning left. So maybe Grazia as a designer can justify this. There might be a reason for it, and I'm happy to be corrected. So it'd be good to hear from you, Grazia. Pop a comment in the box below. Tell us what you are aiming for here. But overall, I like the shot, and I think it's a sort of picture that could work well as part of a set, maybe as part of a project about lockdown. So here we have an image by Gio-Gio Botto, who's taken a different approach to the through my window idea, and this one's shooting from the outside looking in. And there's a slightly voyeuristic vibe here, and that's not a criticism, by the way. I do like the idea of the solitary figure in the window. Is it a frosted bathroom window? It's hard to tell. And that's one of my points. For me, this is an image that had potential, which I don't think's been fully exploited. And the main difficulty is that figure in the window isn't quite clear enough, and I think it needs to be more distinctive and stand out a little more. Maybe this could be done in Photoshop, which I know some people will say it's cheating a bit for street photography, for purists, but I think, yeah, in these circumstances, I think I'd give it a go. Also, I think Gio-Gio needs to decide which her dominant line is here and then straighten it. And I'd probably go for that big white line, the bottom edge of that white guttering. Just straighten on that and it'll just tidy up the rest of the image. I'd also be interested to see what the words above the shops say. We can see half of the word take, but I can't help thinking that a little more context might give this image a bit more purpose. But overall, it's a great effort, and thank you, Gio-Gio. Keep going. And finally today, another striking image from SANTOS ALVAREZ Leon. And I say another because SANTOS has featured in these Q&A videos before. And this one for me is the pick of the bunch. I just love it for its minimalism and its striking simplicity. And it says everything about lockdown. The dark, shadowy interior, the slightly gloomy sky, and juxtapose against this the the freedom of that bird in flight. The position of the bird in the frame and its spread wings is spot on. I'm really struggling to find something to criticise here. So I think I'll just park it there and say, well done, Santos is a real keeper. And I know you're doing a much more in-depth project about this lockdown situation, and this is part of that project, and I think it's a very good part of it. And it just captures the essence of the current situation. Great stuff. Well, as always, I enjoyed looking at those images, and I think it was quite an unusual and a tough challenge this month. And as I said earlier, these images are taken from the Street Snappers monthly challenge. And the Street Snappers Collective is a community of street photographers, exclusively for people who've been on one of my workshops. It's a great place where people arrange meetups, they share images, they get critique, they collaborate on projects, and they have some brilliant discussions and some very lively debate about all things relating to street photography. So if you'd like to join the collective, you'll need to come along to one of my workshops. And if you'd like more information, do have a look at the website, streetsnappers.com. If you found this video useful, it would be great if you hit the like button. There's lots more to come, so if you're into street photography, you might also want to hit subscribe. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you again next time.